All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Eye on the Tigers, part of the Be in the Know network. Make sure to follow us on Twitter or X, as some people call it nowadays, at Be in the Know. You can see it right there on the bottom of the screen. I am Bryce, host of the Off the Dome Sports Podcast, two-time LSU graduate, sitting here with LSU return specialist Greg Clayton Jr. How you doing, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Go ahead and just introduce yourself a little bit before we go ahead and get started. Tell the people who is Gregory Clayton Jr.
Well, I'm Gregory Clayton Jr. I'm from Convent, Louisiana. Played for LSU for 2 years. From here, it's always been a dream for me to play for LSU. And I'm willing to let you guys know a little bit about myself today.
Sweet deal. So before you got into this purple and gold, you were in a different purple and gold in high school from Letcher High School. The fun fact I talked about before we got started, I went to school about 15 minutes away from there,
For
Riverside
real?
Academy, right down the road in Reserve.
That's
Um,
lit. That's lit.
so we went to high school to pretty much at the same time, 15 minutes away from each other. Never knew it. Small
That's lit.
world.
That's lit. I never knew that. I never knew
Yes,
that.
sir. Yes, sir. But like I said, I'm a two-time LSU graduate. Huge fan of the Tigers. You could see a little bit of Joe Burrow right there behind me.
I see that.
Um, was there. That was my freshman year. Was the national championship season. So, good
That
way to
was
start.
lit.
Good way to start off college right there. But I
Yeah.
love LSU. I know you do too. Um, so for me, my first question is going from that Letcher to LSU path. We've seen guys, Jarvis Landry, John Trey Kirkland, go from Letcher to LSU, and I know it's such a specific little tidbit there, but for me, it's really cool coming from the River Parishes, being right down the road from there. What did that feel like going from that purple and gold to being the state school that everybody knows in the LSU Tigers?
Well, I would say, growing up as a kid has always been my dream to play for LSU Tigers. You know what I'm saying? And that's every kid that plays any sport, whether it's baseball, football, basketball, whatever sport it is, you know, their dream is to play for LSU. Just being able to represent that purple and gold and being able to experience Saturday nights in Death Valley is second to none. So,
Absolutely.
so being able to, transition and come back home and be at LSU is like it's no better feeling because I used to be running around LSU facility when I was about 12 years old. So for me to actually get a chance to play for LSU, like it's honestly been a dream come true. Even though I had like a longer journey to get there, I still was able to represent my home state. So that was a great feeling for me.
Yeah, and I think that journey was really important for you, and it's something that probably a lot of people don't know about. They see you on Saturdays back there returning punts, and I mean, to be frank, it was nice to see a steady set of hands back there. Um,
Yeah.
After we had some miscues in the beginning of last season, in the 2022 season, and then see some stability back there, I think was really important for us. I know us in this household really enjoyed it. So you talked about that journey. I want to go a little bit deeper into that journey. You kind of went through every level that people can go through in college football. You had that JUCO level for
Yeah.
2 years, and then you move up to UTSA, and then have your battles there, and then find your way back home. What did that journey look like, and how did that really get the ball rolling for you?
So first and foremost, it started off at Letcher High School. Then from Letcher High School, I went on to Trinity Valley. Then I went on to Navarro. So that was two junior colleges. Then from that point on, I transferred to UTSA for 2 years. Things didn't go as well at UTSA because Frank Wilson is the one who recruited me to go to UTSA. And then that spring, he wasn't working there anymore. So I thought I was going there to play for Coach Frank, and then come to find out I wasn't. So um, things didn't go well at UTSA. Then I entered the transfer portal, and then got the opportunity to come back home and play for LSU. And then Coach Frank had a big part of getting me to come back to LSU. So even though it didn't happen the first time like I thought it would happen at LSU, I mean at UTSA, it still ended up happening. So I was blessed to, have the opportunity to come back home and play for my home state and represent in a big
Yeah,
way at the
yeah. I
highest
mean,
level. So
oh, absolutely at the highest level. I mean, you go from, a junior college, like you said, two different junior colleges where, although the football programs may be good, they don't get that social media or that big TV contract where you're being shown all over
yeah,
ESPN. And then you go to
yeah,
UTSA, who, people know about, but it's not always the biggest program. Of course, they've had good products come out of there, Aaron Jones, Marcus Davenport, guys like that.
Yeah.
But it's nothing like LSU, nothing like Saturday nights in Death Valley. So to
Nothing.
have that journey and meet that adversity, I think is huge for a prospect like yourself. Um, I think it was really cool that you brought up Frank Wilson because that was something I wanted to talk about was, what was that journey like going from UTSA back home to LSU and who played a part in that? So go a little bit deeper into that relationship with Frank Wilson.
I've been knowing Coach Frank since I was maybe about, like I say, 11, 12 years old. I remember when, he was recruiting Jarvis to go to LSU. He came to Jarvis' house, and I was there. I probably was like in maybe sixth or seventh grade.
Wow.
And just being able to be in a room, sitting up across the table from Coach Adam Henry, Coach Les Miles, and just being able to see the conversation that was being had for them to get Jarvis to go to LSU. And then I'm like, man, I want to be in this position so bad whenever I get, to a senior high school. And then, you know, being able to actually do it, that was really a dream come true for me. So I had like a phenomenal relationship with Coach Frank since I was young. So for him to not forget about me and, still allowed me to have the opportunity, and that was a good feeling for me.
Yeah, for those of us who really pay attention to the behind the scenes of the Tigers, we know how important it was for Frank Wilson to come back home after a few days away.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy to have him back in the building, and I'm glad he brought you along with the journey. Um, for me, it was really interesting to kind of see your perspective as a specialist, because if you think about the return game now, it's mainly like just put your fastest guy back there, put your most durable guy back there, like put somebody back there who people are going to know. When you
Yeah.
think of like the best, but when you think of the best return people of all time, first one who comes to mind is Devin Hester.
Yep.
He wasn't necessarily the number one wide receiver on the team, but he had a talent for doing something that not a lot of other people did. So for me, my
Correct.
question to you is like, how did you find that knack for that? And how did you really excel in a specialist role that people may not pay attention to?
I would say baseball was really like a key factor in being able
Oh,
to
wow.
be back there and being able to track the ball down and catch the ball because I played center field in
Yeah.
in high school. So just me being able to be back there and being able to track the ball, that's where I feel like I picked up the talent from. I would say probably baseball. But coming into LSU my first year, I'm like, I'm seeing guys like is a different level far as coming from UTSA and junior college. Like at LSU, everybody's elite. You get what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, I need to find something that I can do at a higher level to be able to get me on the field. And some things didn't go well against Florida State, and I was like, okay, punt return. This is an opportunity for me to get on the field. So I got a chance to go back there, and I was 100% back there. I didn't drop a ball, like I was 100%, and got the opportunity to do it up in a game, and I just didn't look back from then.
That's perfect. I mean, like you said, you were 100%, and we felt it too. We saw those issues against Florida State. Um, Specifically when we look at that game in the dome, Malik Neighbors, he was back there. He had issues in the specialist game, and yet he overcomes it, and he has such a huge season this year. Now he's looked
Correct.
at as a top 5, top 10 NFL draft pick.
Correct.
What is it like in that building, seeing guys really grow and develop, and how do you think that building in particular has helped you grow and develop as well?
I think that building has helped me develop because just being around top tier talent, like it's not a lot of guys that come around as good like Malik and BT. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
Malik is like arguably the best receiver to come through LSU, statistic wise. So, just me being able to be around guys like that every single day, that had to elevate my game at a high level. And, what I'm saying? Just coming to work and being consistent every day. That's my biggest thing. Just being consistent. Every time you show up to the field, put in the work, put in everything you need to put in, and just being able to be consistent. And that's one thing that kind of rubbed off on me from those guys. You know what I'm saying? Just being around them and being able to hold myself and my teammates and everybody in that building is held to a higher standard.
Love that. Love that. So after the season ends, you have some time to reflect. You decide to declare for the NFL draft. What does that process look like? As a fan, we don't know what that looks like. You say you're declaring for the NFL draft on Twitter, and that's all we know about it. But what actually goes on behind the scenes, they think's really interesting to go on for from the fans' perspective.
So I didn't have any eligibility left. So no matter what happened this past season, I was going to declare for the draft.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would say that process looked like just going with it, just praying and just going with it and just sticking it out.
Yeah. What does that process look like right now? You declare for the draft. What does it look like up until late April?
Just I'm right as of right now. I mean, I'm just training, waiting until the combine. I mean, not the combine. Waiting until the draft to happen and just staying focused. Taking it day by day, staying focused and continuing to grind, continue doing the same things that I've been doing since day one. Nothing has really changed as far as the work ethic, but just staying hungry.
Yeah, I love that. Pro Day was just a couple days ago. Did you get a chance to really show out your talents there?
Yeah, I think I got a chance to really show my talents for Pro Day. Along with Jay Bramlett, they had like a segment for us before we ran 40s and stuff like that, and start doing the testing. Whereas I went out and caught punts. I got a lot of chance to watch a lot of scouts were watching. So I was
Yeah.
100% back there, and then I also did a little bit of extra. Whereas I had a ball in one hand and then was catching punts with one hand. So I needed to show that I can be consistent back there at a high level.
Yeah, I think that's what I love to hear, and I know a lot of other fans will love to hear too, is that the idea that you have that work ethic, you have that consistency, and not only are you holding it up mentally, but physically, you're 100%, and you're doing what you need to do to show scouts that you're ready for the next level. So I really appreciate that. Uh, Love that you're showing off the purple and gold in a very good light. Looking off the field, what advice would you give to somebody who has had to go through adversity, had to go through this journey, and it may not even be an athlete, but anybody in general who's really looking to make an impact, but they just haven't found the right way yet?
First and foremost, I would say put God first, because without God, you're nothing. And then second, I would say just continue to trust in the process and continue to work every single day. Because when you work and putting in the work and putting and doing it behind closed doors, the stuff that you do behind closed doors that no one else may see, it's gonna come to the light. So just continue to keep working, and everything is gonna play out the way it's supposed to. Just trust in the process. That's all it's about.
What's done in the dark will be brought to light. I love that. Um,
Right.
do you think you've had any mentors or forces outside of football that have really driven you forward?
I would say my parents, my mom and my dad, and then I would also say Jarvis is a key factor in my life just by laying down the foundation and showing me what it's like to be an elite NFL player, and just me being able to see what he done in the dark and all of his success that he had up in NFL, making Pro Bowls and just being consistent. So him just laying that foundation out for me and that blueprint, I think that's what got me keep going today.
Have y'all always been close, you and Jarvis?
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And I can tell from the way you talk, y'all have like a similar mindset with consistency, because that's exactly what he was. Not only his years here at LSU, but when he goes to the Dolphins, and then obviously he came home to New Orleans for a season, which, even though that didn't work out as we hoped it did, I loved
Yeah.
seeing him in the black and gold. So it's really good for you to have that mentor and have that mindset. What's going on outside of football right now that's really keeping you going?
Outside of football, I would say maybe my family, like just being able to be around my mom a lot and being able to be around my dad a lot, like that's what keep me going. And not only just my mom, my dad, just my other family members, that's what keep me going. And just the grind, this is the type of stuff I've been doing since I was young. So I mean, ain't nothing gonna change really.
Love that. Like you said, family's big time. Holiday coming up this weekend, so enjoy that. Get your
Yeah.
rest, get some good food, and then keep looking forward to the NFL draft. Anything else you'd like to say about your journey before we head on out of here on Eye on the Tigers?
Um, Anything else you want to know? I mean,
I really appreciate you doing this. Like I said, lifelong LSU fan, two-time LSU graduate, so it's awesome to be able to talk with you. Talk to
congratulations
somebody.
on that.
Oh, thanks, man. Talk to somebody who loves LSU as much as I do because it's really important to me. And I know the fans out there watching Eye on the Tigers with Be in the Know. I know they love the purple and gold too, and have been very, very happy to see your consistency throughout the past 2 years because I think that was something we were looking for. Last thing I want to know before we go on: is there somewhere you're looking at in the draft, or is there a place you hope to be, or just a situation you hope to be in?
As far as the place, I don't care where it's at. As long as I get the opportunity to live out my dream and play up in NFL, that's been my dream since I was young. That's what I always been working towards to achieve. And I would say, as far as a situation, I would say somewhere that I can get the opportunity to contribute, whether it's on special teams, whether it's at receiver, whether it's whatever way. I just want to be able to contribute and be the best teammate possible. Help
Yeah,
out any organization that there
yeah.
is.
I think with your mindset and with your physical ability as well, it'll be hard to keep you um, out of a building. So I really hope that works out for you. You know we're here for
Appreciate
you anytime, and just know we're behind you, cheering for you every step of the way.
appreciate that. Appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, Gregory Clayton Jr. Again, thank you so much, sir. This is Eye on the Tigers. I am Bryce, and thank you for watching the No Network.